Hey everybody, this is Tad Hargrave. Welcome to another edition of the Radical Business, a YouTube marketing coaching series for green, conscious, holistic, locally owned, community-minded entrepreneurs. And so far we've focused on what's your ideal niche, your target market. We've looked at what's the offer that you're going to give them that's so compelling. We looked at number 3, hubs. Where do you find them? And number 4, we're going to look at word of mouth. And I'm really excited about this topic. It's funny, I've always known word of mouth was important. I think we all do. We know the most powerful form of marketing there is the human voice, just people telling each other. We know that people are skeptical and don't trust advertising. It doesn't mean advertising can't work, but we need to be real that people are skeptical about it. And we know that people trust their friends. And we know that 25% of conversations are about products and services. We know that the major way most people find out about a lot of new products and services is through their friends, acquaintances, contacts, through word of mouth, just hearing it from other people. So we know all that's true, but there's a really critical distinction between passive and active word of mouth. Passive word of mouth is what 99% of businesses are doing. I say, what kind of marketing do you do? And they say, oh, word of mouth. What they really mean by that is they do a pretty good job and they hope people are going to talk about it. And active word of mouth is doing a really good job and helping people talk about it, supporting them and spreading the word about what you do. So when we look at active word of mouth, there's really 2 components we've got to look at. We've got to look at number 1, why do people even tell their friends about stuff? And number 2, how can we support them in doing that? So the focus of this session here is just to have a real sort of honest chat about why is it that people spread the word about certain products or services in both ways, good or bad. So to think about it for you, what are the products and services that you love? There's probably some companies that you just will endorse to anybody. You would recommend to your closest friends, family, your boss, the in-laws even. You would endorse to anybody without any hesitation or reservation. Think about what kind of businesses those are that you know. And now think also about the businesses that you would warn all of your friends off of. And why is that? In my opinion, that ultimately comes down to one word, and that word is expectations. That this is the heart of word of mouth. It comes down to expectations. And there's really only, a few things you can do with expectations. One thing you can do is, and this is where we start complaining about businesses, is you overpromise. You do 2 things here. You overpromise and you underdeliver. You overpromise and you underdeliver, meaning you do not meet the expectations. And in every industry, in every kind of business, people have at least a certain level of expectations about how it's going to look, how it's going to work, how easy or how hard it will be. And if you don't, what kind of level, I guess, of quality of product or service that they're going to get, and if you don't meet that, if there's not the kind of selection or availability or convenience that they expect there to be, if you don't meet that level of expectation, and specifically, so it's interesting, sometimes there's promises you make, sometimes there's just assumptions people come in with. So if there's those assumptions, you've got to meet them. But you also have to be very conscious and careful as a business that you aren't overpromising and underdelivering. Overpromising and underdelivering means somebody says, hey Johnson, can you get this report done by Tuesday? And in your head you're like, that'll take till Thursday. But you say, yeah, totally, I can get it done Monday night for you. You overpromise, and then it gets in on Friday, and you underdeliver. So it's 2 things. Overpromise, underdeliver, meaning you don't meet the expectations at all. And if you don't meet expectations, if you do that, what happens? People feel disappointed. They feel frustrated to the extent that you didn't meet it. To the extent that there's a gap between their expectations and what you delivered, there's now some pain. And people are going to start sharing that. They're frustrated, they're pissed off, they're aggravated, and they're going to warn their friends about you. If you just do it once, they may forgive you. But if you do it again and again, you probably have friends like this who keep blowing you off, or they set plans with you and then they change it at the last minute, and it becomes very frustrating. And you know businesses like this that keep promising and they don't deliver on it, and you stop doing business with them pretty soon, and you also stop, with those friends, you sometimes stop hanging out with them. So this issue of expectations and credibility and trust and integrity is central. You can do something else, though. You can promise and deliver. This is another level up. This is where they walk in with certain expectations about your business, and you give them certain expectations, either verbally, non-verbally. There's certain things that are communicated about what they should expect from you in terms of the level of quality of product or service that they're going to get. And this is, where they say, Johnson, can you get this report done? You think in your head, I can get it done Thursday, and you say Thursday. And then you get it done on Thursday. So what you promised and delivered is the same thing. This is huge. You probably have friends like this, and you know that if they say they're going to do it at a certain time, it will be done at that time, 100% of the time, guaranteed. And it feels great, doesn't it? There's this incredible trust that you feel for these kinds of people. It's such a relief to have that burden, of worry lifted off, because you know they've got the integrity. But there's a challenge with it, that if you always promise what you think you can deliver, you're not taking into account that life happens and you're going to get busy. And this can be a very stressful place to live, because you say, I can get it done Thursday. Well, maybe something happens on Wednesday that takes all your time. And then to get it done on Thursday, you have to burn the midnight oil. And if you live like this, you can start living on adrenaline and stress. And people will sometimes make big promises just to feel that stress and excitement. And that's a very expensive way to live. I urge you off of it. There's something else you can do, though, which is you can underpromise intentionally. You underpromise and you over-deliver. See, and here's the thing. If you just promise and deliver, people will like it, they'll be happy about it, but they're not going to rave about it. In order to get people raving, there needs to be a substantial gap between the expectations and what you deliver. And you need to manage those expectations. And so you need to underpromise and overdeliver. So, Johnson, can you get me the report done? You think, I can get it done Thursday? So you say, you know what? Next Wednesday I can have it for you. And the truth is, you might get it done on Thursday. Or you might get it done on the Monday. But you've given yourself some space. And sometimes it's not possible to get that kind of a buffer or to underpromise in that way, but wherever possible, to not assume that it's not possible, to check in, see if you can give yourself that space, because what that'll mean is you'll enjoy it more. And it won't only give you the space to deliver what you promised, but also gives you some space to add some extra. So you not only finish the report, you do an extra appendix of some certain charts and graphs, and you give them a muffin or something. There's something extra that you do. So this is the heart of word of mouth. They're going to have expectations. How can you exceed those consistently in every interaction that you have? How can you leave them just delighted, surprised, blow them away? And there's even a fourth level here, which is where you don't promise anything, you just deliver for the joy of it. You don't set up any expectations, you don't make any big promises, but they just get things from you. It's like they show up one day and they say, you know what, you've referred 5 people and you get a free session today. You didn't promise that, they didn't expect it, and they're so touched and surprised by it. They're blown away. There's a college copy shop in Edmonton. It's called College Copy, and they're impeccable for under-promising and over-delivering. I have 100% trust. When I call them with a copy job, it's going to be done when they say, or earlier, and almost always earlier. And after I placed a big order one time, they sent me a fruit basket. I didn't expect that. It blew me away. And I've just, every time the topic of what kind of copy shop or print shop should I use, I always recommend that business. So this is the heart of it. Is your product really extraordinary? Is it great? Are people going to rave about it? Does it exceed expectations? Is it so unique and so different? A guy named Seth Godin wrote a book called Purple Cow, and he was driving through France and he saw all these cows, and at first he was so excited. He hadn't seen a lot of cows. And then they got normal. And he thought, you know what? If I saw a purple cow, that would be really exciting. So is your business a purple cow? If you want people to remark about your business to their friends, to make remarks about it, it's got to be remarkable. So at the end of this, you're going to see a workshop, and it's pretty big on word of mouth and building referral systems. And it's free. There's no charge for it. You can go to the website and download it, and we'll continue in the next series. Thanks.